Welcome to the Top 20 Video Game Music Show with songs selected by you. More specifically, Claudio, Rudy, Steve, Cyflan, xenmas, and Kris. This is from Road Rash. Oh yeah, when you want to sound like a synth rock band, the Sega Genesis is the place to be. But let's get to our first official pick. That will be chosen by Claudio. It's from a Zelda game, Spirit Tracks. This is Claudio's train pick. Claudio challenged himself to pick a different mode of transportation for every choice he made. This is Overworld Adventure, composed by Koji Kondo, Tori, Minegishi, and Azuka Hayasaki. Man, there's something about those strings that go bum, 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 bum. That feels very, very Zelda. I feel like that's kind of become a part of the language of it. And the like soaring, adventurous flutes, the sort of clip-cloppy horse sound of the percussion. A lot of old-timey sort of traditional instruments. Makes it feel like you're visiting Hyrule, but this part here. Oh, such a dramatic chord progression. I love it so much. It doesn't dwell on it too long. They could have gone a lot farther with it, but they don't. Oof. And all you're doing is, who would have thought that like a train theme could be this whimsical? Because when you think of a train, often it's stuck on a track. Well, they're always stuck on a track. Trains can only go mostly in one direction. This one has you can change the tracks, but you have to go on that track. The train sound effects sync with the theme. Oh, that's such a nice touch. Really encapsulates that freedom of travel and the ability to go wherever you want, provided it's on the track. But anywhere on the track. Anywhere in the world where we have built tracks. This next one was a really nice surprise for me. This was chosen by Rudy from Legend of Legaia 2. This is Pirate's Pride, composed by Hitoshi Sakimoto. just find this track so fun. And then those claps come in. It's just every element of it adds to this kind of like whimsy, but it's kind of a serious whimsy. It's got a bit of like a mysticalness. I think it's with all the different wind instruments, and I think that and there's a bit of an effect on them too. So it kind of creates this like swirlingness, like that air that's streaming around is magical in a way. And it is similar. Yeah, I agree, Chris. Kind of sounds like the previous one we just heard from Zelda. This is for the pirate ship. This is Pirate's Pride theme song, in brackets, pirate ship. I love that. Boom, 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 boom. Kind of sounds like you're doing like a little heave-ho with a rope, or just going over the waves. I just love it. I find it really, really exhilarating. Then you got these sort of like droning wind instruments again that almost sound like a bagpipe of some kind. Just beautiful. This is gorgeous. Sakimoto. Usually Sakimoto, he likes to do usually like very classical stuff from what I've heard from Final Fantasy XII. Everything was like super hyper classical, swirly, but really with the orchestra. I really love the instruments he chose here. I think it feels like he's out of the orchestra and he can have a bit more fun with it. It's just, I mean, when you're trying to capture the spirit of a character wanting to leave and go out, and something that's been done a million times in RPGs, and to put your own spin on it is really impressive. Steve's pick from Xenoblade Chronicles X. This is Don't Worry, the Skell flying theme composed by Hiroyuki Sawano.
Over the world we see all the
Every time you fly, you have to hear this. Oh my god, that is crazy. It's a fun theme. I mean, it's just like a modern... It's interesting because if you are like flying around in your Skell, and then this track comes on, it kind of makes it feel like it's like Grand Theft Auto, and you're listening to the radio that would be playing in an anime mech suit. If only Katy Perry sounded like this. Russell Brand wouldn't have divorced her. Next up, Cyflan has chosen from Wild Arms 3, Lightning Blade in the Blue Sky. Really nice. All the tracks we've had so far have been like kind of dancey and, or at least like a pretty healthy energy about them in rhythm. And like Chris said, most of them seem to be about the freedom of travel. Originally, the theme somebody suggested for this week was going to be about cruise ships. And then to open it up, they suggested it could be about vehicles or travel. But so far, it seems to be more about travel as opposed to, say, vehicles. But we'll see how that evolves throughout. We'll see if greatness awaits on the PS4. Xenmas is chosen from Final Fantasy XIV Exponential Entropy, composed by Soken.
Everything is awesome. Everything you feel when you're part of the team. Everything is awesome.
Yeah, some kind of a sleek, modern, high-speed rail line. I love that. Transportation purgatory. Yeah, exactly. Are we going forward or back? And forward and back. 1 foot forward. Woo! To end off round 1 of our selections, from Chris, from Unrailed. Chris, are you okay? A lot of your picks this week are really dark, low energy themes from very obscure, dark games. Hope you're doing well. From Unrailed, this is Desperado Desert, composed by Felix Barbarino. Man, that does have a really nice kind of swagger to it. A little slow pace. Which gives it the feeling of like big heavy steps. And then a little bit of syncopation there. A little bit of swing in the hi-hat. Yeah, I definitely thought Bastion when I first heard it. It plays when you and your team finally get to the town where the outlaw's hiding and you surrounded him and moving confidently toward the bar he's in. Oh, we're gonna kill that guy. Yeah. This next one is from Final Fantasy X-2. I know when I say that out loud, it makes you want to puke. I get it. That's exactly how I feel. But actually, the music was very good, for the most part. This is the Celsius airship theme, chosen by Cyflan. We're the Gullwings. Love that guitar riff. Just gives it a lot of character. It's really catchy. It's really bouncy. I mean, I guess this is what Final Fantasy X-2 was. It was this bright, colorful, energetic piece of something that just added a lot of things, and it didn't really care if they all mixed. Actually, but see, that's unfair to this track, because this track, all this stuff mixes well. You know? If this song was going to better represent the game, it would start off with like a light acoustic guitar, and then a really obnoxious kazoo would come in, and then it would be a 200 beats per minute dance song, and then it would just transition with a couple sound effects, and then a siren would go off, and then there'd be a freestyle rap from Brother in the middle, and then I'd kill myself. All right, we have a late admission from Horky. From Splatoon 2, inside the Deep Sea Metro subway car. That's a good one. I guess this plays when you're inside the Metro subway car, so it's more like a loop that plays. This isn't something you're going to hear when you're playing in the mission, when you're doing the single player or the multiplayer, whereas the multiplayer ones are like really amping you up, trying to get as much done in, say, like, 3 minutes. You're in a subway. You can hear, there's a little bit of that reverb, like really shallow plated reverb on the drums, which gives it sort of an underground feel. You got these kind of like beep, 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 this like underwater, underground type sounds. And then the announcer's voice coming over nice and lightly. It's great. Nice track. A good transition piece. Next up, from Rudy and Xenosaga Episode 2. This is the Elsa von Brabant, composed by Shinji Hosoe. Really nice. So, interesting story about this. That Claudio was saying the composer got a lot of hate initially. Took over from the legend that was Mitsuda in the sequel of Xenosaga. And time has helped to forget that now. Space Jazz. As a lobby sound, I like the way you put that, Chris. Very tidy entrance and waiting area that's trying a bit too hard to be relaxed. No, we're relaxed. Here at the Global Core, we love being relaxed because we find it increases efficiency by 8.5%. No. It sounds like your staff member in Sector 7G. His heart rate has been elevated by 9%. We find that this will reduce productivity greatly. Over the course of a year, we could lose $8.50 of production. We're going to need that employee to take their special calm down pills to maintain efficiency. Listen to the soothing music that will stimulate but not tire, excite but not distract, for a better tomorrow. Our next choice, from Claudio and Skies of Arcadia. This is Little Jack Ship, composed by Yutaka Tumiya, Yutaka Minobe. Motherfucker. God, I could listen to that a hell of a lot more. That was nice. You know, when this track first started, I was not that interested in the opening 5-10 seconds. It sounded a bit too kind of like royal and kind of regal. But once it gets going, it is adventurous as hell. Not that hell's a very adventurous place. It's as adventurous as Zelda. It sounds like Zelda, but a little more weightier, a little more airshipy. I love just like 20 seconds earlier when it sounded like there were cannons and they're like pow, 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 pow. No revenge, no time hopping, no dimensions. It's about going on an adventure, an RPG with no dimensions or revenge or time hopping. Skies of Arcadia. See, this is the intro that I did not like. But once it kicks in, ooh, baby, I love the way. This next one is a special treat. It is an arranged version of Terra's theme that plays when you're in a Magitek Armor suit in Final Fantasy XIV. God damn it. Man, what a really nice spin on Terra's theme. I mean, Terra's theme is bloody incredible. I mean, with that really mournful melody. I guess it's imitating like a clarinet or something. And, but it kind of adds this like deep kind of percussion that feels a bit kind of like agile, the way it's like boom, boom, like you're sort of jumping from one foot to another, like taking big skips across. And that's like a bit of just like a bit of like weight and yeah, like a melancholy weight that still has a lot of momentum to it. It's really beautiful. Chris has chosen from Overworld. This is track 11. Wonder where they came up with that name. Composed by Stuart Duffield, because Chris hates Japanese people. And this is another very like kind of mystical track. I feel maybe there's like marimbas or xylophones or vibes. I can never tell them apart, but they give that sort of like jungly feel, or like a pirate ship kind of like it's kind of a dark mysticism, like Drake or Indiana Jones, maybe going into a corner of the world that's unexplored, that you may not believe in magic, but maybe you think these people here untouched by civilization might possess just a little bit of it. And I've heard a lot about this Monkey Island soundtrack. I know the Mercado brothers always talk about it on their podcast, so that should be one that I need to visit. I was going to say revisit, but I've never played Secret of Monkey Island. Gotta check it out. Well, if we have a way to talk about vehicles and flying machines, Rudy is going to pick a track from Ace Combat. This time from Ace Combat 5, The Unsung War. Hangar 1, composed by Keiki Kobayashi, Tetsukazu Nakanishi, Hirashi Okubo, Shinichi Nakatsuru. Are we gonna fly now? Are we getting now? No? Now? Now we're gonna... No? When are we leaving the hangar? I feel like soon. I always feel like these Ace Combat themes, they always have to have like really militaristic horns and but then they're always like trying to see what else can we do to just add a little more fun. There's always that like cool kind of rock bass. Yeah, it sounds like what? Stop. Oh, we didn't check the oil. The flaps could be looked at. Oh, when you're landing, your tail lights out. I'll people know when you're braking. In the air. So our next one needs a bit of context. Cyflan has chosen from Final Fantasy XIII 2 Crazy Chocobo. But before we play Crazy Chocobo, we need to play some other Chocobo themes. So first off, this is a little bit from Final Fantasy II on the NES, the first Chocobo theme. Alright, a little piercing. Okay, that's beautiful. Now, this is from Final Fantasy IV. I feel like this is when the theme really solidified. And I think this is probably the purest. Well, Final Fantasy II was the purest form of it, but I think Final Fantasy IV was when I appreciated what they added to it, and it didn't feel like it needed to change from the original. Well, I feel like it has changed. That fucking art is so good. Alrighty, that's from Final Fantasy IV. Here's the Chocobo battle theme from Final Fantasy VII. All right, and here is an incredible, just royal presentation of the Chocobo theme from Final Fantasy X. Really fun, sort of like a Super Mario, not Galaxy, it's like Super Mario Odyssey style theme of it. That was really fun. Okay, now this is the one from Final Fantasy XIII too. This is Crazy Chocobo, and it is very crazy. So, to cleanse the palate with another Final Fantasy track from Final Fantasy X, Chris has chosen Ride the Shupoff, composed by Nobuo Uematsu. about this track is that it feels like it's from Final Fantasy X with the sort of like beachy, tropical, again with the vibes and the marimbas and stuff, but with that kind of elegance and mysticism. It's fun. It's kind of goofy. It's like the way Uematsu plays with the rhythms. Like first you're going ding, ding. The emphasis is right there, and then as he adds different percussive elements, he changes where the emphasis is. So it kind of really keeps you off guard, even though it's a very simple thing that he's playing. He's just sort of switching it up on you constantly, which is so important for something that's going to be looped. It's great. Uematsu's a bloody genius, and it really worked well for this world. I want to have sex with you. Claudio for his ship theme. This is from Heroes of Might and Magic 4. Floating Across the Water, composed by Paul Romero. Hey! That's a really nice track. I love all the layers in it. I mean, when you think down... I was reading Rudy's comment about sitting down. When you think down about, I guess, what this game would be with a lot of layers of strategy. And not only just strategy in Heroes of Might and Magic. Heroes of Might and Magic, I've never played it, but it always seems to me like it's combining a lot of different elements. You know, like this screen here where you're kind of walking through an overworld and then it comes up to be this grid-like strategy chess type battle game, while at the same time being really magical and having an element of fantasy. It's really nice. I do remember when I was a teen, my friend always talking about how good this series was, trying to get me to play it. Fuck him. Hey, look at this cover. This guy looks like he wants to throw this whole fucking stone at you, but I don't think he does. So, Tales of the Abyss, chosen by Steve, composed by... Oh, the track is Catsbert Fairy, composed by Shinji Tamura. And Claudio... Oh, is describing the Heroes of Might and Magic, not this one. Gotcha. Let's kick it. like the way you put that, Claudio. It feels very local, like I was saying in the chat. It's really quaint. The waltz makes it feel not very serious, and the arpeggio through it, it was like little dainty steps. There's nothing serious happening, but then you've also got that heavy boom, boom on the one, which kind of makes it feel like the boat you're in is not very fast, and the journey is very light, and you're just going on a quaint ferry from one quaint town to the next. Really nice track. Hey, let's kick everyone in the balls in the good way. This is from Final Fantasy IX, Hildegard Airship, composed by Uematsu and chosen by Steve. Oh. Yeah, it's a really nice track. I love the way it opens. It just sounds like that point in the story when things are dark and the enemy is closing in, and will our hero survive? And then all of a sudden a fucking airship just blasts through, and here's a solution, and it's like, hold on, it's flying away out to freedom. There's so much energy there. That big heavy just like dance beat on it, and these crazy synths, and then boom, 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 gives it that really sort of airborne feel. Nothing can stop us now on this rocket ship. Hey, how about a Rudy pick from Trails of Cold Steel 4? Crimson Flash Shadow, Radiant Wings, composed by Hayato Sonoda, who sounds like a chill guy from Ohio. What a really nice track. Does a great job of just constantly changing things up to keep it really interesting. But what I really, really loved is this part in the beginning when it has these kind of like xylophone things, like which kind of sounded like in the 1980s when you do an action movie in like Little China or Hong Kong or something. It had this sort of like Asian 80s movie montage feel right here. Yeah. Have you had it up to here with Japanese composers doing compelling flying music with jazz fusion and symphonic hybrids? Well, Chris has got a track here composed by Hitoshi from Borrow Trauma. This is Alien Syndicate. Enjoy. Great track for crawling around a dark ocean. You're waiting for something to happen. I like that the bass they use it sounds like it's the lowest that synth can go and still kind of maintain any integrity, like wow, 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 wow. And you got a lot of higher sounds that sound like they are sort of like in a sonar or something, like bing, bing. A lot of synth sounds that are kind of like degrading, almost like they're radio waves that are sort of coming through and not. It sounds like every track in this is just designed to be like it could be heard while you're on a submarine. So, a really incredible arrangement and instrument choice. Stepped in to fight the Kraken. Oh shit. Well, to cleanse the palate after Borrow Trauma, Claudio has selected another submarine track, but this time from Stardew Valley, composed by Eric Barone. Thank you for choosing this week. If you're watching on YouTube, the show will end during this track.